Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu anhu قال. The hadith tonight is a collection in both Bukhari and Muslim. It's narrated to us by Ka'b ibn Malik. And it's just an observation that Ka'b radiallahu anhu made. It's within the theme of the significance of Masajid, and I'm going to try and tackle this topic from a number of different angles, from things that the Prophet ﷺ said and did, and from things that the Sahaba observed him do, and what they had to say about it. So what Ka'b is going to say here is something I find, in my opinion, is indicative. It's a sign that the Prophet ﷺ viewed the masjid to be the center of the city, or the center of where he lived, basically. And this is what he said, رضي الله عنه. قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يقدم من سفره إلا نهارا في الضحى. He always, whenever he came back from any journey, he only came back during the day around duha time. Duha is just between 9 o'clock or 10 until dhuhr, somewhere just before dhuhr. And the reason he could do that is because whenever he went back in the day, you didn't have a car, so you were traveling for multiple days at a time, so you could basically control what time you would enter the city. You had the ability to control that because it's going to take a few days anyway, so you might as well just kind of figure that out. So we like to come into Medina, you'd like to sleep, wake up, pray Fajr where he is, and then move and make it just before Dhuhr into Medina. قال فكان إذا قدم دخل المسجد فصلى فيه ركعتين ثم يجلس. Whenever he came to Medina during that time, the first thing he would do is that he would enter the masjid, he would pray 2 rak'ah, and then he would sit. Before he went home. And before he actually went home and saw his family and talked to people, the first thing he did whenever he came back from any journey was he came to the masjid, alayhi salatu wasalam. And obviously I'm not saying that this is what you should do whenever you come back from a journey, but what I'm trying to say is that that's how he viewed the masjid, alayhi salatu wasalam. It was the center of the city. This is where you always went and checked in. Like before you left, you checked out from there, and when you came back, you checked in. And it was always the place where you would go and figure things out and find out what's happening and let people know. That's where that was the hub. That's where people came. That was the way for everyone to figure out what was happening. It was communication. If you think about it, going back maybe a couple of 100 years, it wasn't as easy as it is today to know stuff. But even now, who has time to check up on everyone and what they're doing? To have a hub, to have a community center, a place where you always go to, where all of the information that you need, you can find all of the updates, the decisions, the directions, everything is in one place. It's just very convenient, and that's why people like social centers. They enjoy them because they can go there, they can see others, and they can find solutions for their problems, and they can figure out what's happening in their society, and they can feel that they belong somewhere. So the Prophet ﷺ, he made sure that was the case in the way that he treated the masjid. And this is not just, this hadith is not just referring to the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, Medina. Any masjid. Meaning sometimes you'd enter, he would do this on Quba, and sometimes he would do it in some of the smaller peripheral masajid that existed in Medina. By the way, there was a lot of masajid in Medina during his life, ﷺ. It's maybe even worthy, at some point I count the number of masajid that actually were there during his life, ﷺ. Just to understand that he had built in different neighborhoods, in different places, of masajid, and he would do this in any of them. And I just think it's something for us to remind ourselves of, that the masjid used to serve that purpose. May not be able to serve a purpose at the same capacity as it used to, but it should be something similar or somewhere within that vicinity, or else it's losing one of its major purposes. يروي الشيخان فيما اتفقا عليه عن كعب بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم لا يقدم من سفره إلا نهارا في الضحى وكان صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إذا قدم من السفر دخل المسجد ثم صلى فيه ركعتين ثم يجلس. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. ان شاء الله the tafsir halaqah will be right after sunnah. جزاكم الله خير.